Welcome back to the North Florida Sports Network. Happy Boxing Day. Boxing Day Eve. Hope you had a great Christmas.
I did.
Yeah. I got Jimmy Reno with me here. We're doing a little wrap up. I want to react to Tate Rodemaker. Entering the transfer portal. Not necessarily the fact that he's entering the transfer portal, but how he did it.
Brutal.
Yeah, man. I didn't plan on doing a show on Boxing Day.
No, but come on.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I mean, the team traveled on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Right?
Merry Christmas, Coach Norvell. By the way, I'm not showing up for my seat on the plane.
Right. And regardless of what you're doing next year, this is a bad move. It's a bad look, I think. I know your dad's a coach. But
listen, I mean, like, obviously,
why would you take place in practice the whole week?
Right.
Well, I mean, there's a way to do it. I mean, you didn't see Lundy out there.
Right.
You know, I mean, these players that were opting out for the draft, they respectively
did it immediately.
Did it before practice started. You don't go through the sacrifice that it takes to prepare for a football game with your brothers that you've done all year. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, you're exactly right. And like in practice, they're very, if any positions are as important as the quarterback position, there's very few. Maybe corner, maybe the center position, but taking first team reps as a quarterback is extremely important during practice.
Yeah.
And you took an entire week away from Brock Glenn being the guy.
Right.
I
know that people will say that, well, you were recruiting 2 transfer quarterbacks.
Right.
Well, that was known before practices started.
Right.
So if you're going to transfer, do it. Step up, be a man, say, hey, I'm not coming back. You don't owe that to the team, to the fans, or whatever, to anybody, the coaches. I know it's players get a lot these days, but you need to respect the game. It goes both ways, and I think the way he did this is wrong.
Yeah, on the appearance. I mean, we obviously, like I said,
I don't know,
but I have a hard time believing that Mike Norvell would have given Tate Rodemaker an entire week of first team reps, knowing that he was going to potentially not play in this game.
He wouldn't have practiced.
Right.
Exactly.
All. That tells you kind of everything you need to.
Right.
And
he would have done it. You just been like, all right, well, just go ahead and go. We got to do. The whole motto is
right. My thing is that this is something that Tate Rodemaker has, he's had these decisions to make the past couple of years.
Right.
Do I leave Florida State and try to be a starter somewhere else, even at a lower classification, or do I just kind of stay here, be a team guy, be the backup? Maybe I get my shot, maybe not. And he seemed to be fine with all of that until now. He's apparently not. I just, I have a hard time seeing it that, all of a sudden they told us that, hey, we're bringing in a transfer quarterback this year, and he just gets mad and decides he's going to try to screw this. I think, I don't know.
You knew that enough to stop practicing. I just think that if you were going to transfer, opt out of the game. You just don't quit. Right. Don't quit mid-practice. Like, I think you quit. You quit on the preparation for this game. Now, there's a lot of players that opted out, and what the committee did is bullcrap. I mean, everyone's never going to get over that, or people will never forget that either.
Yeah.
And one thing, this game is all but an afterthought. Anybody that would say that had anything to do with what FSU's chances might be in a playoff game, because they're without now the top 2 quarterbacks,
top 2
receivers, top 2 running backs. Who else?
Just go down the list. 3 of their starting offensive linemen. A couple of them are hurt. One of them's transferred to TCU. Other side of the ball, you got Verse is out, obviously, best defensive lineman. Lovett is out. And these are all guys that, Renardo Green, Jerry and Jones, these are all guys that are definitely going to try and play on Sunday. There are some guys that have a future on Sunday that are going to be playing, Kalen Deloge, Braden Fisk.
Wow. Yeah. And
so there are a few guys that stayed. And honestly, man, I don't blame any of the players for anything that they did, unless, it's just something like this where, you're not committed to playing in that game, and you're not committed, but you go practice. Out there, that's and practice anyway.
I don't understand.
That's kind of hard to take, man, because you're taking reps away from the guy that's going to be depended on, and it kind of looks like you're just stringing Florida State along,
right? After what everybody went through, together. No, regardless, you were on this team, and you contributed. You were the starter, and you played against Florida, and you were part of this team, and to go. I just don't understand the mentality to go out there and prepare for a week, after not doing it,
right? But only to decide ultimately, and
just goes to show you, man, that the ACC, the committee, it just broke all momentum FSU had, and I don't even think a loss could have done what the snub has done to Florida State.
No, I think it was definitely. I mean, it's more than a loss. It was worse than a loss.
Right. That's what I was saying. It's the moment, because you now opened up a narrative.
I will say that winning an ACC championship, at least you got something, some kind of some accomplishment. So that would have been worse, not winning that. Right. But had we lost in the middle of the season, then
it's just something unheard of. It's the ripple effects of what was an unprecedented decision by the committee, and a wrong one. So, and to some point, it's just another thing that should have never happened. That Rodemaker,
that cheap shot in the Florida game changed his whole life, man.
Just a bad, but that's football.
Yeah.
So you have Brock Glenn going to get the start.
Yeah, he'll get the start. McNamara is the backup, I guess. Walk on QB.
Yep.
You go down the list. There's a lot of young guys
going to be relied upon. Ja'Kai Douglas will be the backup running back.
Right. You'll see Holmes and Douglas and some Samuel Singleton will be out there. The freshman. This game doesn't count against any eligibility or anything like that. So why not? But
it does go into the final record.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
But
I mean,
get the 13-0 shirt.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If you're not finishing number one, who gives a shit? As long as you're in the top 10. I mean, seriously,
you don't even Portier listed at starting receiver.
Yeah, you'll see Hakeem
Williamson.
I hope we see a lot more of Hakeem Williams than we do Darian Williamson. I'd rather see the young guys. Jacobs, let him play. Goldie Lawrence, all the freshmen. Just get him as much time as you can.
I'm excited to see Douglas and running back, I guess. I think he can do something back there.
Yeah,
they wouldn't.
I think you're going to see a lot of Wildcat in this one.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see Brock try to throw it a ton. I mean, you may see some down the field shots. It's going to be gross, man.
Yeah.
We got guys on defense still playing, Bethune and Deloach both in there at linebacker. A lot of the guys on the defensive line. That's what's interesting about this is Farmer, Josh Farmer, Patrick Payton, Daryl Jackson are all listed as on the depth chart and playing in this game. Your defensive line is actually where you took the least hit, even though you took arguably your best player off the team. You got arguably your second best player still there in Braden Fisk. But the offense is not going to do anything.
So you're going to need the defense to step up.
You're going to need defense to score 4 touchdowns just to be close, man. It's a shame that they actually have to go through with this game with the rosters being just and both sides. UGA's lost a considerable number of players on scholarship, but they're not impact players the way Florida State's guys are.
Right. Right. Either way, it's for both teams. And I know Georgia's.
Oh, and this is this is taking a lot of the pretty much any of the joy out of it, unless you're just a sicko Georgia fan that hates Florida State.
Right. I mean, when the game starts, people are still gonna.
There's no legitimacy to beating Florida State. You know, no matter what anybody would tell you from the Georgia side or anything like that, this game is as meaningless as it comes for them. It's almost like a fucking slap in the face that they have to play in it as well, but.
Well, I mean, it's contradiction bowl.
Yeah.
Because
one team didn't get in because nobody thought that they were good enough to be in. The other team didn't get in because they didn't think they deserved
But one
to
team
be in.
did deserve it.
Yeah.
But we couldn't put them ahead of a team we thought was better. So why is Georgia not ranked ahead of Florida State? But they're favored. It's just so obvious. And then what you don't understand is why they didn't rank Florida State back further, like right when
because it doesn't just
happened. How do you let this happen? How do you not scream from the mountaintops that this is going on?
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing is everyone that controls any of it doesn't allow anybody to be heard screaming.
Well, that's what I meant.
It's just dismissed. And, Herb Street goes on an entire PR campaign on his Twitter about, crazy FSU fans and all that.
Well, and then if Georgia comes out and dominates the game, it's just anybody that would say anything otherwise than what we're already saying about this game. Yeah. That it doesn't matter either way.
No, it doesn't.
Even if FSU wins, it's hard to say that. I mean, you didn't lose a game, so if a team were to...
Dude, if FSU won this game, it would be...
The coaching...
the biggest... It's just not even a possibility. You're going to need a
lot of trick plays, the annexation of
just to score.
A lot of countries, territories.
And these are guys that haven't had any meaningful reps. They're going to be out there against one of the best teams in the country. Pretty much at full strength. I mean, they've had a few guys that aren't going to play for them, but it's just going to be gross. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Tate Rodemaker did not want to. You should have just told the team before they started practicing.
Right. I think that's everybody's point on anyone who has an aggressive feeling about it. That's pretty much where they're getting angry from.
Right.
It's like, dude, you wasted an entire week of everybody's time.
Yeah.
For what? So you could make double sure that you didn't want to play in the game, or maybe you had somewhere to go, or whatever it was. But, you don't just wake up one day and be like, oh, man, you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore. Or maybe you do, man. Maybe the kid just woke up one morning and is like, I can't do this anymore. But
again, I said it initially, though. If anybody on this team, if any team ever got any kind of benefit of a doubt of opting out or anything, it's this team.
Right.
Because they deserved better than what they got. And these are the ripple effects of what a snub like this, what an unprecedented snub. They stole the glory and the heart out of the game and the sacrifice that makes the game great.
Right.
And they made it all but professional sports. I mean, they were still holding on to it. You still could do it, but it's clear as day.
Yeah, and the only thing people take issue with is it's clear that once you start practicing, everybody here has the intent on playing.
Right.
That's
weird.
That's the understanding, right? Like once you start practicing, it's all or nothing.
Right. Especially at that position.
Oh, dude,
you need to just, I don't think anybody it would have been unfortunate.
Well, you see now,
but it's way worse to do it now.
Right. And that kind of just, and you got to just tell yourself, I mean, he's a kid that was okay with being the backup for 5 years, man. And that's, I don't want to say that he just realized that maybe that the job is too big for him, but I think he just, it speaks to a certain level of maturity in how you handle things. And that was probably the worst way you could have done it. So whatever. Good luck to him. I don't think he's going to be anybody we'll ever face in the future. So we'll see, man.
Yeah. This team did not have a good ending.
No, it didn't. I mean, and that's something that's self-inflicted. That's something that's coming like friendly fire, man. It's one thing to get screwed over by the committee and to deal with those kind of things that you deal with and everything, but then to have, something like that happen, it's kind of something from inside your own walls. That's right. Also tough.
Yeah, but that was, that's the way the game is nowadays. And these bowl games that if you're not in the playoff, they really don't matter.
No, they don't.
You just hate to see them do it at the time he did it, I guess.
Yeah, consider all things being considered. What the program went through, the magnifying glass that was on that position, on Tate Rodemaker in particular. There was nobody that was ever not in Tate's corner from the Florida State side of things. Talking about how much confidence they had in him to not fall off and anything like that. So I don't know. It leaves a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth when this kind of thing is the way a kid leaves. But again, he's just a kid.
This is just another. It's a big game. I mean, it's a big game. It just doesn't feel like it.
That's another thing, man. It says a lot, dude. The kid had a game against Georgia, the opportunity to play against Georgia,
right?
That
he didn't want to.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
I do like the fact that guys like Deloche, Fisk are out there playing, finishing. It says a lot about who they are.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't. Now not taking away from the guys that opted out.
No, and it pretty much just play person to person, whichever decision they make.
Motivation and what benefits like your spot. Like if there's something to be gained there for a player, like they have draft stock that could be gained, or because you're talking about Fisk. This is his first year playing at a big stage. He didn't have the type of eyeballs watching him up till this year. So it's different for him than it would be for Lovett.
And he may not want to give it up yet. Like you said, he didn't have those kind of eyeballs watching him when he was at Western Michigan. He may want one more time against, the two-time defending national.
Got a chance to make a name for himself. You like that. You want that in a game of like with football. You expect there to be violence.
I would be shocked if his agent wasn't screaming at him to not play in this game. But at some point you got to you represent football players, man. They're going to do what they want to do. And I like I said, he's a real one. He's going to go out there, suit up one more time, and it'll be fun for a little bit to watch the defense play, even with the guys out that are out. I hope they don't try to wear him down. Just play him a bunch of plays. Let Fisk get out there, do some things, and then just start playing young guys. Scoreboard is going to be just not even a factor.
Really?
Yeah.
No chance?
No chance. No chance.
Telling me there's no chance.
Telling you there is zero chance of this. What's the spread? Like 16.5. That is the easiest money in the history of illegal or now legal gambling. Seriously. I can't believe it's that low.
Where's the offense going to come from?
Like I said, defense is going to have to score 4 touchdowns just to
that defense played an all-time performance against Louisville. If they can keep it up, they've lost.
Yeah, you lost too many key pieces
guys,
of it, man.
The best corner, the best pass.
You lost your best corner. You lost,
best run linebacker.
Yeah,
best run. Wasn't he rated out as like the best?
Yeah, DJ was one of these top linebacker in the country against the run.
Yeah. Even though the D line didn't get it hit hard as other positions, still did.
Because you added Jackson. If you weren't adding Jackson, that Lovett loss would be huge.
I'm excited to see him and Fisk play together.
This might be your only chance to see Darrell Jackson play in a Florida State uniform. So.
Oh wow, yeah. That's college football nowadays.
Yeah, it's another thing. A lot of these guys, even the ones that are underclassmen, and you never know when they're not going to be on the team. So get your last look at them.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good stuff, man. Let me tell you. The figure skating of football has... But hey,
What about these transfers, man? What's going on with the quarterback?
I don't even care anymore, man. Like Cam Ward, DJ, I don't know, man. Somebody, I still say it's going to be DJ. I figured once...
You're going to need one of them.
Yeah, once old Tate announced that he was out of there, that they dropped it, whichever QB they were going to take. But who knows, man? You might not get either, and then it'll be even more fun.
All right.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. Let me tell you.
Happy New Year to you, too. It's been a great year. A year that will always be remembered for a lot of things, but hard not to remember as a sports fan for this. It was a snub. But we'll look at it, we'll react to it, and we'll talk to you next time
Snub
right here
job.
on the North Florida Sports Network.
We had to go. Our ride was here. We got a shuttle to our